Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get started. Council ready? Yes, sir. Thank you, everybody, and welcome to the regular monthly meeting of the Mayor and Council, Monday, February 23rd, 2026, starting at 25th, my bad. Starting at 6:34 p.m. Missy, could you please call the roll?
Mayor Nunziato.
Here.
Council President McGowan.
Present.
Councilman Coakley. Councilman Errico.
Here.
Councilman Guzman.
Here.
Councilman Del Ricon.
Here.
Councilman Mazzone.
Here. Thank you. If you're willing and able, please stand for the salute to the flag. Missy, could you please read the provisions?
In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Law, Chapter 231, Public Laws of 1975, a notice of this meeting was transmitted to the Record and Herald News and filed with the Borough Clerk on November 21, 2025, and February 23, 2026, and is posted on the bulletin board outside of Borough Hall.
Thank you. We have no presentations or proclamations this evening. Missy, could you please read the review?
We'll be adding a item J under the consent agenda, resolution number 68, authorizing the execution of the NGSEA agreement pertaining the use of the firearm range. Also, there's a revision to resolution number 59, raffle license. We'll be adding the Little League raffles. That's all I have at this time.
Thank you. Does anybody from the council have anything to add? Robert?
We have to discuss moving the March 9th meeting to March 11th.
Yes, I believe that the attorney and the borough clerk were just discussing that, and I believe that Jonathan will get back to us as far as the reasoning.
Yes, we will likely be moving that meeting. We have to check as to some specific notice requirements in order to determine exactly when, but the meeting will likely not be on the 9th. It could potentially be on the 11th.
And Jonathan will get with you right as soon as possible to discuss that. I ask for a motion.
Motion.
Motion by Council President. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Del Ricon. Any questions or comments? Seeing none. May I have a roll call, please?
Council President McGowan.
Yes.
Councilman Errico.
Yes.
Councilman Guzman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Del Ricon.
Yes.
Councilman Mazzone.
Yes. We'll now be moving to a closed session to discuss matters of public safety and possible litigation. Missy?
Whereas the Open Public Meetings Act requires that a public body adopt a resolution at an open meeting before going to a closed session to discuss a matter which excludes the public as permitted under Section 7B. Now therefore be resolved that the Mayor and Council will hold a closed meeting at 6:36 p.m. on February 25th, 2026, 176 Park Avenue to discuss the following matters: matter of public safety and possible litigation.
Thank you, Missy. I'd ask for a motion. I have a motion by the Council President. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Guzman. Any questions or comments? Seeing none.
Council President McGowan.
Yes.
Councilman Errico.
Yes.
Councilman Guzman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Del Ricon.
Yes.
Councilman Mazzone.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. We're now going to move to a closed session. That is not a point of order, sir. You have to wait. You have to. Sir, we do not have an anticipated time.
See what the playlist has.
You guys ready?
No, I don't think so.
Thank you, everybody. We're back in from closed session. Move now to roll call, please.
Mayor Nunziato.
Here.
Council President McGowan.
Present.
Councilman Coakley.
Here.
Councilman Errico.
Here.
Councilman Guzman.
Here.
Councilman Del Ricon.
Here.
Councilman Mazzone.
Here. Thank you. Missy, changes to the agenda?
Yes, we'll be adding a discussion to change the meeting from March 9th to March 11th.
Can I have a motion, please?
Motion to accept the change?
Motion.
Motion by Council President, may I have a second? Second by Councilman Guzman. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, ask for a roll call, please.
Council President McGowan.
Yes.
Councilman Coakley.
Yes.
Councilman Errico.
Yes.
Councilman Guzman.
Yes.
Councilman Del Ricon.
Yes.
Councilman Mazzone.
Yes.
Thank you.
Closed session.
I'd like to now have the Borough Attorney address our closed session. Jonathan?
Thank you, Mayor. The council, as well as myself, is keenly aware of an outpouring of community concern regarding immigrants' rights issues at the present. From the last meeting, I was tasked with doing an in-depth review regarding current policy, present legislature, and prospective pending legislation. In conducting that research, we had significant conversation with prospective council members who have a number of questions and concerns, as well as with our police chief and police department. We are working toward finding a forum for meaningful discussion to show the community the kind of work that the council is doing. There will not be any action taken tonight, but that is not because no action is underway. This is a significant issue, a serious issue that every single one of the people on this board is thinking about and working diligently toward meaningful change or meaningful recommendations and opportunity for the public to engage in discussion, to answer questions, and to provide information that's going to be helpful. So with that, I think that sums up the issue. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. And I'd also like to thank the police chief for his involvement in their closed session. And I believe that you guys will have a very meaningful, productive conversation with our community going forward on behalf of the council and myself. Thank you. Ordinances on first read. Council President.
Thank you, Mayor. First is, under first reading, amending Chapter 131, Affordable Housing Overlay Districts to include Park Avenue and Orient Way. Missy, can you please read the ordinance by title only?
An ordinance to amend Chapter 131 of the Borough Code entitled Zoning, and in particular, Chapter 131, Article 13, General Regulations to include Park Avenue Overlay and Orient Way Overlay.
Thank you. I'd like to make a motion to move that the ordinance be passed on first reading and advertised according to law.
I have a motion by the Council President. I have a motion by the Council President. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Second by Councilman Guzman. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, may I have a roll call, please?
Council President McGowan?
Yes.
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilman Errico?
Yes.
Councilman Guzman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Del Ricon?
Yes.
Councilman Mazzone?
Yes.
Thank you. Council President.
Thank you. Next, under first reading, ordinance on first reading, amending Chapter 51 for affordable housing. Missy, can you please read the ordinance by title only?
An ordinance repealing and replacing Chapter 51, Article 7, entitled Affordable Housing Production of the Code of the Borough of Rutherford to address the requirements of the Fair Housing Act as amended and the Uniform Housing Affordability Controls as amended regarding compliance with the borough's affordable housing obligations.
Thank you. I'd like to make a motion to move that the ordinance be passed on first reading and advertised according to law.
I have a motion by the council president. May I have a second, please?
Second?
Second by Councilman Coakley. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, may I have a roll call, please?
Council President McGowan?
Yes.
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilman Erico?
Yes.
Councilman Guzman?
Yes.
Councilman Del Ricon?
yes,
Councilman Mazzone?
Yes.
Thank you. Second read, Councilman Guzman.
Thank you very much, Mayor. I have ordinance on second read to establish a handicap space on Iyer Place. Missy, could you please read the ordinance by title only?
In ordinance to amend and revise Chapter 126, Vehicles and Traffic of the Borough Code of the Borough of Rutherford to establish a handicap parking space on Ayer Place.
Motion to move that the ordinance be passed on second reading and advertised according to law.
I have a motion by Councilman Guzman. May I have a second, please?
Second?
I'm sorry. Second by Councilman Maison.
Yes.
I will now open this up to the public for any public comment on this subject and this subject matter only. Seeing none, I'm going to close it to the public. Sure. It's got to be specific to this handicap spot, sir. Or we're speaking about a handicap parking spot? No. Okay, then you're going to, yep, no problem, I understand. That's next. That comes next.
As far as being able to speak on what
Are you speaking to the handicap parking spot? No. Then you're going to wait 1 minute, we'll be right with you. Thanks. Anybody from the council? Seeing none, may I have a roll call, please?
Council President McGowan?
Yes.
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilman Erico?
Yes.
Councilman Guzman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Del Ricon?
yes.
Councilman Mazzone?
Yes.
Thank you. Now we're going to have the hearing of citizens. You're up. Please state your name and address for the record, sir, and please keep your comments to 5 minutes or less.
Wayne Viviano, 1 Orient Way. Also, I'm an attorney, and my office is 75 yards away on Orient Way. I'm on Station Square. About the, to introduce the ordinance, and of course it affects not only the overlay for Orient Way, but it also impacts where you had the presentation on October 27th with regard to the bank building, 25 Orient Way. So my question is twofold. I'd spoken with Ms. Knight, who's very nice, and she says that even after this ordinance with the overlay, that there would still have to be an amended ordinance if the PRISM was to engage in the project on 25 Orient Way and the 2 adjacent properties. Is that your understanding as well?
We comment after everybody speaks.
Sorry?
We comment after everybody
okay,
speaks.
Okay, so that's my question. And the concern is, of course, you've had, and I wrote a letter, so I won't be redundant. You have, 48 unit owners, and now their property is going to be, their view of the skyline will be blocked. This is not going to be a 14-month project. It will, I don't have to tell you, there's water issues on both sides, right? Lake Glen from the 1800s, which they filled in because they were concerned about malaria. And of course, you have Boiling Springs. I watched the building being built for 4 years from my office. I mean, there'll be more, I'm sure, with when the final reading is done and there's an open to public hearing. But this has a great impact on people that have been paying taxes for 21 years. And now it's going to be a war zone for probably years. Experience is twofold. One is I watched this building being built and I know what the issues are. And with PRISM, which I'll get into details another time, the projects that were supposed to take a short period of time took years. And in one case, they never finished it. So, but I appreciate your response. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Viviano. Anybody else from the public wishing to speak?
David Labruno, ooh, loud, 423 Stuyvesant. I also wanted to speak on this affordable housing overlay districts. I don't believe in coincidences, and I find it curious that the overlay housing for Zone 4 Orient Way in the units, or the description of it, has exactly the requirements that this 25 Orient was asking just few months ago. So I do find that curious, and I'm wondering when or why wasn't this Orient project that was previously presented, why is that not in this zone? Or are we to expect that in, I guess, once this is adopted a couple weeks after that, I would imagine. But maybe you could offer some comment on that. And then I guess the question is just about both of these ordinances. Since there is no presentation, maybe there'll be one the next meeting, or you guys had a meeting about it, but the impetus for passing this, maybe that could be addressed, if it's related to this COA lawsuit or a COA agreement. So maybe there just could be some presentation to the public about what the impetus for this and why 25 Orient isn't included in there, and can we expect that coming shortly after this? It seems odd. I wasn't aware of the particular properties that this is drafted to on Orient, but seems to be this. I haven't had the opportunity to look at the map that closely, and the one in this presentation you were so kind to give me, Mr. Mayor, is not really visible, the actual lots and the block and lots about which particular properties are in this, addressed in this ordinance, so that the public could see what exists there now and then what might be anticipated. So those are just a few questions, and then we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Wilson?
Good evening. Frank Wilson, 171 Montrose Ave, Rutherford. First, this is the second meeting I've come to this room, and it's coincidence that it's the second time you guys have gone into closed session before hearing of citizens. And everybody's gone. Can you do it like somewhere in the middle, so after the hearing of citizens are over, you go in there to closed session instead of doing closed for an hour and a half, and then everybody leaves? And I was going to leave, but this would have been the second time that I left, and I wasn't going to do that. So if you could consider that next time, I would appreciate it. What I'd like to discuss is we got a historic amount of snow, and this is not because of the snow, it's because of being in here for so long. I remember when you couldn't park on the street at night, that there was no on-street parking in the town. You had to find a spot for your car someplace. With that being said, I think it'd be more logical if we restrict it to, especially when the snow's coming, one side you can park, one side you can't park. This way the plows can go down, take it all the way to the curb, and get parking spots. Because anybody that goes past the college realizes that that now is a one-way. All right, and then there was a bus there today for whatever, dropping stuff off at Felician, which became less than a one-way. So it just look at it saying it's got to be a better way to do this. My opinion, put emergency sign up, right side of the street you can't park, left side you can park, plow comes down, takes us to the curb, now we have parking. Okay, and anybody that lives in this town knows what I'm talking about. Why that's not an option, I don't know, because at one time you couldn't park anywhere. So I don't think that's an imposition. If you've got 3 people parking on this side, 2 people parking on that side, plows goes down the middle, which creates a nightmare for everybody. Just make it one side or the other, okay? Lastly, I saw on the list that we've got 184 Park is what you guys are gonna be talking about tonight. And I find that kind of funny because I mentioned that we need to sell 184 Park, and I was told that the tower behind it might be a problem. But that being said, if you do sell it to a developer, please, I can't beg you enough, please, do not give another pilot. Especially if you're targeting low-impact housing, you know there's kids, the kids are gonna be going to the schools. And the pilot money does not go to the schools. The one that's on Orient already said they're not asking for a pilot. So that doesn't matter. Okay, that it is what it is. Whatever the tax is, the tax is. That's not going to impact the school system. If you decide you sell this one, don't give them a pilot, because for the amount of units you're putting in there, even if a third of them are school-bound, the school system does not get any revenue. We all know that. So please, do not give another pilot to that. But that's about it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson. I'll now close it to the public and open for any council comment. Anybody from the council wishing to speak? Seeing none, I'm going to close it to the council. Resolutions separate from consent. We have nothing. Consent items. Council President.
Thank you, Mayor. All items are authorized to be consent by the council will be enacted by one motion. These items are routine in nature. Motion.
I have a motion by the council president. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Coakley. Any questions or comment? Seeing none, may I have roll call, please?
Council President McGowan?
Yes.
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilman Errico?
Yes, with the exception of the minutes on February 9th, which I abstained.
Councilman Guzman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Del Ricon?
Yes.
Councilman Mazzone?
Yes.
Thank you. Now we have the new business discussion on changes to meeting times. Bob?
I guess the first meeting we're talking about moving is the March 9th to March 11th. But that is all subject to a discussion we need to have tomorrow with our outside counsel regarding the notice requirement that our borough attorney referenced earlier tonight. I don't know how you want to handle that, but I think moving it to March 11th is probably the prudent decision tonight. And if for some reason that doesn't work, we'll address it next week. So I am asking to change the March 9th meeting to March 11th. That will help us facilitate the proper advertising of the ordinances introduced tonight and to get them adopted by the required deadlines. Secondly, the other meeting we're looking to move is the April 13th. Just want to schedule that an hour earlier for our annual elected officials training with our risk management professionals. That we asked that meeting to start at 5:30, closed session from 5:30 to 6:30, then to begin the regular mayor council meeting at 6:30 as normal. So there'll be no impact to the residents on that night.
Thank you, Bob. Would anyone like to entertain these changes?
Yes, Mayor. For a point of order, do we need to do this under two motions, or can we do it in one?
You did it one.
Perfect. Mayor, I'd like to move that we move our March 9th meeting to March 11th, pending approval from our council, and the start time for April 13th, 2026 to begin at 5:30 p.m. for closed session for elected officials training, with the appropriate meeting, our public meeting, beginning at 6:30 p.m. Motion.
I have a motion by the council president. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Guzman. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, may I have a roll call, please?
Council President McGowan?
Yes.
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilman Errico?
Yes.
Councilman Guzman?
Yes.
Councilman Del Ricon?
Yes.
Councilman Mazzone?
Yes.
Thank you. We'll move to committee reports. Council President?
Thank you, Mayor. This evening, under my liaison assignment for finance, I want to thank Second on Finance, Councilwoman Del Ricon. We have spent the last 2 weeks working with our Borough Administrator, Bob Kekaleski. I think I did it right today. Is that better? You're welcome. And also to our CFO, Gordon Stelter. Tonight's my night. I got both of their names right. I'm like very proud of myself. Anyway, all joking aside, I want to thank both of them for their diligent work in preparation for the councilwoman and I to be working alongside them. And I'd like to also extend our appreciation on behalf of the mayor and council to all of our department heads who prepared in advance for these meetings, who are wonderful stewards of our budget. And it has been a very eye-opening and challenging discussion that's taking place. And so I thank everybody for their stewardship in this process. And I know that within the next few weeks, we will be coming together again to look at the final recommendations, and then that budget will be circulated and shared with the mayor and council and the public. Secondly, I would like to acknowledge the amazing work of our OEM, Mike Tarantino, to our police department, our fire department, our EMS, but I really need to take a moment and acknowledge the Herculean effort of the DPW. The weather this week, you know, there's something to be said when I'm learning about weather forecasters. When they tell you they don't want to tell you what the weather is going to be, and that they keep saying they don't want to predict something, and they're not running to the screen to tell everybody it's coming and to go buy milk, bread, and eggs, that's actually when you should, in fact, go buy milk, bread, and eggs. And so I know that Rutherford ate lots of French toast on Monday and Tuesday. 30 inches of snow or somewhere around there is just an extraordinary amount of snow. And the men and women of our DPW literally were working around the clock, shift after shift. And I know they're a little weary because they're watching the weather coming up too. And so I know folks have been frustrated. Some of you have reached out to me about, and I'll acknowledge, Mr. Wilson, what you were sharing. This is just an extraordinary amount of snow. It is hard to find a place for it, and yet they are clearing streets, and it's just a 24-hour operation. You know, so I ask for your patience and your kindness, and patience with your neighbors. And I'm taking a moment of personal privilege. I'm going to ask that if you happen to be on a block that has a handicapped spot, and you see people, you know, either shoveling snow into it accidentally, or perhaps private plowers that are coming in to do properties, let's look out for each other and our residents, particularly those who are dependent on handicapped parking spaces. I'm just going to ask us to really step up for each other. And last but not least, I am looking forward to this weekend. Despite all the cold weather, I feel like they say March comes in like a lion, out like a lamb. Well, I believe deeply the Rutherford Irish is ready to kick off March like a lion with our annual St. Patrick's Day Parade on Sunday, March 1st at 1 o'clock. Thank you to the Rutherford Irish for putting Rutherford on the map across the state for this great event. If you're watching this, if you're hearing this, if you're planning about joining us, if there's ever been a year to use mass transit to come to Rutherford, or take an Uber, you know, leave your cars parked. Walk across town. It'll be a beautiful day to wear your green and celebrate everybody being Irish. And we look forward to seeing you on the parade route. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman Coakley.
Thank you, Mayor. I too would like to echo my colleague, Council President McGowan's sentiments with the most heartfelt thank you to everyone who, borough employees and the like, who got us through this incredible blizzard, this feat of nature. It really was impressive to watch, and even I was late to the meeting this evening, but I come in to get my vehicle on Ames Avenue. They were still hard at work. There was a front loader and trucks, you know, moving a serious amount of weight. And so, you know, thank you to the borough administrator and heads of DPW and everyone. It really is a privilege to watch you all work and get us through that. To that end, and echoing my colleague's sentiment again about helping each other out, fire hydrants, if you live near one or have one on your block, if you could kindly make an effort. Our guys and men and women are going around to get to them, but if you have a minute or you have a teenager who has some, you know, volunteer time to put on a confirmation schedule or similar, if you could dig those out for us. You know, it's supposed to be 2 feet either side. I believe it's 2 feet all 4 ways around, just in case of an emergency, right? Again, our men and women are doing the work, but it takes a village. So just put that on your radar, especially as more snow is expected in the next few days. In close tonight, I want to take a few minutes for myself and thought I was going to be able to get through this without getting upset, but I want to talk about nicknames. My entire life, every chapter of my life, I've had some sort of nickname, whether it was in grade school, in science class, getting dubbed the red spot when learning about Jupiter because of my red hair, or high school, taking on the name Spider because I was exceptional at first base and as a wide receiver. And a Halloween choice my freshman year at college dubbed me the Leprechaun for the next 4 years. Obviously, moving out into the professional world, I was Maxim Matt, and then Pop Sci Guy, and then Mag Plus Matt, and various forms of different nicknames. Councilman Coakley has been one of my absolute favorite. It's the third in line behind dad and husband, but it has been an honor and privilege to carry that nickname. I speak with this level of emotion tonight because a year ago, I took on effectively my dream job back in New York City. I was born in the Bronx. I've been a city kid my whole life, and I'm back working for New York Magazine. And it is an honor and a privilege to be there as well. And unfortunately, after long discussions with my wife, we have decided that I just cannot give to this borough what it deserves, what I've given for the last now 5.5 years, but at the end of this year, 6 years. So I'm announcing this evening that I will not be seeking re-election this fall. I wish my colleague and running mate, Stephanie McGowan, the best of luck. She has my heartiest support, always will, as everyone on this dais does. I extend my greatest thank yous to this woman on my left and this gentleman here on my right, as well as many others, for guiding me through the freshman stages, all the way through to everything I have learned now, working with new people like Jonathan down here, the mayor himself, and everything he taught me, given our differences. And I just thank the community for having my back, right, in some of the hardest times. This is a thankless job, but it is oh so rewarding when your constituents pat you on the back and say thank you and you're doing good and persevere. So that being said, I challenge everyone out there to find the next Democratic nominee. It is an incredibly rewarding job. It is a ton of work. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise, but it is so very worth it. The interview process, the resume application process is coming up very, very soon. There are there are dates and information available. Unfortunately, I don't have them on me tonight. I was in a rush to get here. I apologize, but we'll get it out in the newsletter on Friday. But those of you out there who have ever considered giving back to this place that we love, take the opportunity to consider it. The gentleman to my right here, the woman to my right, further right, and the three of them down the road. It has been an exceptional privilege to watch this dais evolve over the last 6 years. We just seem to keep getting better and better and better. And so now it is my time to step away and watch that growth and evolution continue. I cannot, again, impart my gratitude enough. I will at the end of the year with an even more silly speech. But again, thank you one and all. In this room and out within this zip code, I will forever be grateful for the opportunity.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Urko.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Councilman Coakley, for those words. I, too, want to express my thanks to our first responders, but your remarks made me relate a different story, which I want to tie back to what you've said, but I think underscores this community. I suffered something of a tragedy a couple weeks ago in that my house was substantially flooded and was forced to relocate outside of the borough. And it made me reflect on how tragedies or difficult things happen to everyone, even if you don't know that they're occurring. So it might be privately, publicly, whatever else. But in my particular case, I was given a tremendous amount of support by colleagues here on the council, by my friends, by my family, and it made me reflect what Councilman Coakley was remarking about our role in a community and our role as leaders in a community, which fundamentally I think is to make things better and to give back and to improve where we can. And I am fortunate that there are so many in my life who are willing to give that grace to me. And as Councilman Coakley expressed, I think it's incumbent on both us as a council, a governing body, and also our citizens to give that same thanks and grace to our fellow citizens. So I've seen with storms like this, I think tempers will flare with people saying that my neighbor didn't shovel their street in a timely enough fashion or in the way I liked it, or the borough has put snow where I didn't prefer it, or whatever else. But I would encourage us to consider all of our actions and comments in the light of how can we make things better, how can we give back to the community, how can we extend the same grace to each other as what I was just describing and what Councilman Coakley has expressed in his comments. And I do want to express appreciation to everyone who's reached out to help me, and I would encourage, as I said before, for everyone to pass that along. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Guzman.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Little difficult following Councilman Coakley and Erico there. It's never great to hear when one of your colleagues decides to move on, but you have to applaud them and say thank you for all your work. And at the end of the day, you got to do what's right for you and your family. We got you for quite a bit yet, so we're not going to get into conversation, sir, but I do appreciate you, and it's been an absolute, really enjoyment for me to be working with you. I like to, getting to the storm that we all had, and Mr. Wilson, thank you for bringing up your suggestion, much appreciated. There's a lot of effort that goes into before a storm hits the borough. Our OEM team, DPW, EMS, fire, police, borough administrator, mayor, my council colleagues. There's a lot of coordinating that needs to go on and happen before these storms come in, and it's always, how much snow are we going to get? Is it really going to happen? Well, at the end of the day, the borough makes a decision. Like, we have to think that the worst is going to happen. And I'm very proud of our OEM team, our police department, our emergency services, our fire, our police. But with this storm, I'm extremely proud of our DPW team. This was no easy task. They are still cleaning up. They are still trying to, there's priorities, there's schools, there's major roads main roads that are prioritized. And it's a lot to handle when you have this much snow and you don't have a huge team like other towns, not towns of our size, but we're not Hoboken, we're not Jersey City. We don't have that equipment to work with. But I think our team did a hell of a job, great coordinating with our borough administrator here and our police department. So I just wanted to give a big shout out, because I don't think they hear it enough, and especially during these tough storms, sometimes I feel our DPW team does not feel appreciated the way they should be. And my hat's off to them. They did a great job. Other than that, Mayor, I really don't have anything else to share. I just wanted to send my gratitude to our DPW team. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Del Rey Cohen.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm going to save my remarks for Councilman Coakley until the end of the year, but I will say that, as he knows, in the moments where I considered not sitting here, he was the one that always pulled me back. So I am uniquely grateful to Matt, and I will miss him a lot, although he's not getting rid of me, because I promise I'll be around. I will echo what everyone has said about DPW. I had the unique privilege of being the liaison for DPW for my first term. I cannot overstate the amount of work that goes into those jobs for very little glory and arguably for not even great pay compared to other careers that require a lot less on your body, mind, and energy. So I just think to give everyone a little bit of grace goes a very long way. I read somewhere on Facebook in the sea of missives that Lyndhurst and Carlstadt were really completely clear, which I found interesting that anyone had that perspective of that it was completely clear. But I don't want to live in Lyndhurst or Carlstadt. I want to live here. So from my perspective, the hard work I see happening is just good enough for me. So thank you again to everyone that helped. Thank you to the PBA, which hosted a really wonderful fundraiser for Special Olympics. I had the opportunity to show what a terrible bowler I am alongside our council president and Councilman Mazzone, as well as a lot of our officers' families and friends, and that was really quite wonderful. Also, thanks to the Chamber of Commerce, which held its annual event last week on Thursday. They did a really beautiful job. Special shout out to the Rutherford Arts Council, who did all the decorating for that event. It was really special and celebratory of Chinese New Year. With regards to my liaison assignments, I am the liaison for the Rutherford Civil Rights Commission, and I just wanted to add a little bit to what Jonathan, our attorney, mentioned, and also address Mr. Wilson's concerns about the closed session. I think that we make great efforts to put the closed sessions at the end of our meetings. It's unfortunate that the two you've experienced here, you felt that they were ill-timed. I could speak to the meeting today in particular of why I think it was decided to put it at the beginning of the meeting. We had understanding that a lot of the folks that were coming to the meeting today were here to speak to their concerns for immigration issues and the impacts of ICE and law enforcement. And that was the crux of a lot of what we spoke about in closed session, as our borough attorney said. The reason we stuck it in the middle was if we were going to take action and if we were going to speak in an educated way in response to the constituents that took the time to show up here, we had to have that conversation first. So it would have been very unsatisfying to our constituents for them to speak to us and then for us to take a break and decide collectively what we thought might help allay their concerns. So it's unfortunate that it went so long, but the good news is the reason it went so long is I think we accomplished something really productive, which brings me back to the Civil Rights Commission. The Civil Rights Commission has agreed to hold a Know Your Rights session and an open forum for anyone who has these concerns. And our chief of police has agreed to attend that session and answer questions about law enforcement's relationship or lack of relationship to the various statutes that may be moving through the legislature in New Jersey. So we are really looking to schedule that very quickly. So hopefully the same folks that showed up this evening that couldn't stay will come to that session where we can all agree together how to take some really meaningful action and actually doing something together that allays everyone's concerns and really gets real information out. I think that where everyone on the dais agrees certainly is that we are empathetic to the immigration issues that are going on in this country currently. We are understanding of the fact that people in New Jersey and in our community feel a certain level of fear about what that means for us and for people we care about and people we know. And I'm really excited to say that with the help of the Civil Rights Commission and Chief Russo, I think we're going to be able to come together and decide how to foster or, I guess, again, allay some of our concerns through action. So we're going to try to do that very quickly, schedules allowing, so stay tuned for that. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Maison.
Thank you. So as the councilwoman has said, had an opportunity to attend the chamber event, very lovely affair. As for bowling, it looks like Jeff McGowan outscored all of us. But it was a great event hosted by our Rutherford PBA for a great cause, so just happy to be there. I too, like my council colleagues, would like to extend our thanks to certainly our first responders, police, fire, EMS, OEM. I'd also like to point out that as the DPW liaison, it hasn't snowed a lot since I got this assignment, and now it's snowing a real lot. So I don't know what that means, but I think Chris Seidler, his entire team, have done an exceptional job. I know nothing's perfect, no one's perfect, but the effort, the hours are just, certainly so appreciated. Again, as Councilman Errico said, just expressing kindness to your neighbors and trying to support them and understand that, there's a lot of snow and where do we put it, right, is very complicated. Mr. Wilson, thank you. I do appreciate the suggestion you brought forward, and certainly constructive feedback is always appreciated. And then last but not least, to our administrator, thank you for your leadership. Lots of great messaging also went out, on social, so super helpful. RPD, again, so many thanks. I just want to take just a couple minutes to just point out something as my liaison assignment to the Board of Health. If you haven't had an opportunity, I think just yesterday or today, the 2025 annual report went out, or went up, was posted. Jennifer Galarza, our health official, I think does a wonderful job representing our health department. Take a look at this annual report. It has financial information in there. It has information about vital statistics, but then some of the great public health programs that we're doing, public health nursing, tuberculosis testing, flu vaccinations, rabies clinics, blood screenings, just a lot of stuff. But I want to highlight that this year there was a new initiative for a child health clinic, right? And through the efforts of Mid-Bergen Health, we're able to do that. I think it's tremendous that we're able to open it up not only to Rutherford, but to surrounding communities. Public health is something that I take very passionately, so I'm proud to represent the Board of Health here. So if you have a chance, go take a look at that for my council colleagues or anyone in the room. I have 3 copies with me if you'd like that. I carried them all day to the city and back, so please take one. And then last but not least, our Department of Health is also doing a community health needs assessment. So if you have an opportunity, if you check it out on social, there's a QR. If not, stop by the health department. Mid-Bergen Health is helping us do that. I know they've met with the administrator, they're meeting with other borough officials. So yeah, let's stay healthy together, Rutherford. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. I have no appointments to make this evening. I would just like to also thank everybody who is doing their jobs during the storm. I want to give a big shout out to Chris Seidler. Chris has done an amazing job. This was unprecedented, unless you lived here in 1996, which is the last one I saw like this. That explains a lot. My father hitting me with a shovel. It was something that I just hope the town can understand, and it is what it is. We're doing the best as fast as we can, and I hope you could just have the understanding and the empathy for how hard they're working, and doing the best they can with what they have, and they're going to continue to do this. Bob has done a great job trying to help Chris manage the situation, but they're tired. They're tired, and they're out there and they're doing their job. And Chris's leadership has really been it's been exceptional during this particular time. So I just want to give a special shout out to them. I wish the Irish a great event this weekend. I will not be here. I will be visiting my grandson for the first time this weekend. So to all you folks out there, that the party starts at my house, since the parade starts at my house, I won't be here. So I wish everybody a great time this weekend. I hope you all have a great time at the event. Represent the town well, and I would now ask for an adjournment this evening. Oh, second hearing of citizens. My bad. Anybody from the public wishing to speak on agenda items and agenda items only again? Seeing none? Anybody from? Seeing none? Now I'll ask the council president.
Motion to adjourn.
I have a motion to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Enjoy your Sunday and have a great week.